Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Indigo Unknown.
Indigo.
It's episode 20.
Unknown.
This is
Is it
20,
20?
right?
Wow.
Yeah, 19 was the drunk episode. It took us, 3-4 weeks to recover?
Yeah.
So we bounced back.
We are shit-faced right now.
A little holiday. Oh, yeah, it still hasn't worn off.
This is still the drunkest.
So, sorry. Little holiday hiatus.
Yep.
So we hope you had a Merry Christmas. Your New Year's was happy. Or Kwanzaa, if you celebrate New Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Hanukkah? Nah.
Hanukkah. That was last year.
Yeah. Comes once a millennia.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight, we've got an episode for you of Indigo Unknown.
Mm-hmm.
A retro episode. We're just going to play the audio in its entirety from episode 3.
Yeah. Have fun.
And give commentary over it.
We're going to go watch the new Will Ferrell movie while you guys listen to the...
So we will be back in 46 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Signing off.
Later.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Indigo Unknown. It's episode 3. We can't keep up that charade. Boy, it's April Fool's already in here,
right,
buddy.
2018.
Fucking comedy wizard.
2018.
So tonight's episode, for reals, is about possessions.
Like TVs, my Jeep.
You don't.
And it doesn't matter in this life. It doesn't matter how many possessions you have.
You can't take them with you, and you can't understand what I'm actually talking about. Before we get into possessions, I got a little opening story. You remember when we did opening stories?
But we're not doing possessions like physical possessions.
Like demonic.
Yeah, demonic.
And financial.
I guess it could be physical possessions.
Those are more assets, I guess.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. Well, anyway.
Debt.
Yeah. Your debt. Your debt. You're holding that one.
Possessions, yeah.
That's hanging on to it for dear life.
One.
So, before we start that,
let's pause right there. Where's mystery guest? Mystery viewer, if you will. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a late night for the mystery guest viewer.
Age.
And looking at my baby photos with our dog. That's what she's doing.
She needs to be in here because
with the dog
and the photos if she'd like.
Yes.
Whatever.
Rude.
We'll get a vagrant. We'll go find someone.
We'll just get
some
bump. We'll get that old man that walks around this neighborhood all the time.
The nomad.
Get the spooky
Like,
old man.
excuse me, sir.
A couple of elk.
Go get Carl. I'll go pick up Carl. Shit.
Get Carl. Bring Carl.
Hey, Carl. Do you have crackers? That's on
I've got chips.
That would work.
If Carl likes some,
he likes the chips.
Like a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah.
Those are probably deer meat anyway.
Yeah, he likes that.
Yeah.
He's cannibal.
It's brovine, you know.
Brovine.
So, the suicide forest. You heard of that?
I have.
In Japan.
In Japan.
The gotta try to pronounce this right. It's the Ayokigahara.
You totally fucked that up, and I'll tell you the correct pronunciation.
Please.
I don't know that you did pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good fucking Japanese.
Yeah, sound like George Takei. Forest, also called the Sea of Trees, SEA. You know, located near Mount Fuji
Have
in
you heard
Japan.
the song "Sea of Love"?
It's
an old one.
Yeah, that's a different place, and I have not heard it. That's my bathtub. So Mount Fuji it's near there. It's said to be the home to lots of ghosts.
Oh yeah,
It's become known for its
goats.
Goots. For its real high number of
A lot
suicides.
of fucking goats in the suicide forest. Damn suicidal goats.
They're the fainting goats, except they never get up.
No. Nice.
Down once. So as many as 105 suicides in this forest per year, usually from drug overdose. Every year, police and other volunteers search through the forest, end up finding a bunch of bodies.
There's a lot of hangings there as well, right?
I think so, yeah. People hang themselves, stab themselves, ghost themselves.
Probably not shoot, because I don't think guns are readily accessible in Japan.
I think the
samurai swords,
the Yakuza.
Yeah.
If a member of the Yakuza is gonna commit suicide, he'd probably shoot himself in the chest with an Uzi.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's got their traditions, you know. So,
could you imagine? Pop off probably 10 or 11 rounds.
Yeah, and bleed out for a few.
Poor life decision right there.
In the last few years, the number of suicides there has been hidden from the public because the local officials want to disassociate the Yokigahara with being called the suicide forest. That's not very healthy for tourism.
No.
Or it's extra healthy.
Actually, yeah.
I'd go.
I kind of want to go.
If I'm going to kill myself, and I may.
Even if you don't want to kill yourself, I want to go to the suicide forest. I want to have a bear.
See how spooky that is.
I want to be dared to sleep in the suicide forest for one night.
Have a spook sleep?
Oh, yeah.
So,
I wouldn't sleep, but...
there's signs posted at the entrance of the suicide forest.
Say, please do not kill yourself.
Let's say if you're having thoughts, please get help.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's
Suicide
a number for a
helpline.
suicide hotline.
Yeah.
In Japan, it's like
911.
7 or whatever.
Just dial 7.
Yeah. Because, well, it's a common enough problem. Have it on
It's just 7.
That's speed
7.
dial.
Oh.
Jesus.
He could help too.
They ask you to seek help if you're having those feelings, but many believe that the suicide rate could be attributed to the high number of spirits believed to be in the area. And those spirits may be the ghosts of victims of Uwasute. Is that pretty good? That's pretty good. It's a lot of U's.
Yeah.
There's only 2 U's. Uwasute. Or Uwasute.
Great vehicle. They last forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Uwasute WRX.
The 2018 model. Amazing.
Talk about horsepower. That is the act of, get this, they've got a name for this practice.
Okay.
The act of abandoning a sick elder in the forest to die. So,
I could see your fucking ass doing that.
So if
All right,
Grandpa
Grandma.
gets, he's a little too sick and
We're gonna go for a walk.
kind of a burden, you just carry him up out to the forest and leave him there. And
Maybe leave him a bag of trail mix. Maybe. I don't know.
no, you want him to go.
Oh,
quick.
right. Okay, I got you.
Leave trail mix to attract wolves or some
There you
shit.
go.
What do they have in Japan?
They probably don't have trail mix. Oh, as far as
Wolves,
wolves,
yeah. They've got wasabi peas and wolves.
those wolves love the shit out of the wasabi peas. Love
Ooh.
them.
Teriyaki jerky. Boy. A little yakitori. Chicken
Soy
and
sauce.
So,
Ramen noodle. But they do have a couple of piece of
now
shit
that
movies.
we know that you can abandon people in the forest in Japan if they're old and sick. Well,
Is
I
it
don't know
worth
if you
flying
can,
them over there? I mean, we live in the States.
Right. It'd be a hell of a trek for us.
Yeah. You might as well.
But if you've got a sick old Japanese man
Here?
and you're already on,
in
the
Japan.
mainland,
Yeah, okay. I mean, it wouldn't matter
like,
if you're
hey,
here.
you want to go back to your home country? We'll have a vacation, and then you can just dump him.
You like camping?
See the sights.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the Aokigahara.
He's like,
and
oh, I heard of that. No, you haven't. This is.
it's like, no, I don't.
They're
I don't
changing
want
the
to.
image of it.
No, it's different. There's signs up.
But just cover the sign real fast. Take a blanket.
Yeah, let's get you some trail mix. Let's get out of the forest.
You go beforehand and put like happy forest. You change the sign altogether.
Cheerful forest.
Cheerful
Oh,
forest.
all right. Oh boy. I've dropped my phone. All right, stand by.
Free and sure. I mean,
Here's a case of Pedialyte, Grandpa. I hope you have a nice.
but they did make a couple of piece of shit movies. Actually, one was
About
pretty
the
good.
Suicide Forest?
Yeah.
I haven't
One
seen
was a
any
B
of them.
movie.
Oh.
I saw it on Netflix. I watched it. Most of it. I had to turn it on. Well, actually, I watched the whole thing because I'm a
You just
loser and
don't
had
like
nothing
all that.
better to do.
Well,
There was
he has
one.
those nights, you
There
know.
was one that was actually pretty good. It was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't.
A lot of squirrels.
Wasabi.
Japanese
So,
squirrels.
The possessions. Should we talk about being
Oh yeah,
possessed
that was the story. Suicide Forest.
by goats?
Goats.
So-
Possessed goats.
We'll start with the. This was kind of documented at the beginning of The Conjuring. If you've seen The Conjuring, if you're familiar with.
Part 1 and 2
Yes.
and 3. They made it part 3. Yeah.
Not yet.
No.
I think it's coming. And it may deal with werewolves instead of demons and ghosts. So that's fucked.
Really?
Yeah.
Werewolves.
Yeah. So the shark's been jumped. Wow.
So the liberals got their hands on that. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon.
dear.
I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. It's a gay werewolf.
That's all right. Christ was persecuted too. Anyway. Gotcha, bitch. All right, so this was chronicled at the beginning of the first Conjuring movie when Lorraine said that she had some kind of experience or something while they were doing this circumcision or this exorcism.
Oh, yeah.
It involved this...
The circumcision of Emily Rose.
Jesus. That poor girl. Involved this guy named Maurice Thoreau, or Theriot. I don't know, he's French. This is the mid-'80s in Massachusetts.
Ooh.
Yes. So Maurice, or as some people called him, Frenchie, was a French guy. No, that's really his nickname. If you look up
But you did play
Maurice
off the,
Thoreau.
Some people call him Maurice. Some people call him...
I don't know.
The Joker, the song. Some people call me Maurice. Some call him the Space Cowboy. Never mind. If you
The Gangster of Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Don't you worry.
Idiot. So, he had an abusive dad. I mean, fucking, if I had a nickel, you know. Shout out to Dad. He desperately wanted to be free of that situation, so he started basically just calling out, I guess, to the universe or to God, whatever, for help. But it was Satan who answered the call.
Wrong number.
Yeah. Boy, you dialed one too many times.
No, 777.
Yeah, you just tried to dial the suicide hotline at 7.
7.
You hit
You
6.
dialed 6.
You got Satan.
You sneezed. You hit it 3 times.
You got Satan's main line, buddy.
There you go.
So, he started to change physically. He got real strong, and he started knowing shit that he had never learned, like how to speak Latin backwards and bleed from your eyes.
The Matrix. Well,
is a trick that you really got to practice, but he just kind of fell into it.
Horny toads can do that.
Yeah. Well, it's not blood. It's semen. They're horny toads.
Gotcha.
So, he and his wife would find blood around the farm. Items would be moved from like the house out to the barn. They would hear voices, and there's no one around. Maurice had all kinds of memory loss. He would just kind of drift away and fucking find himself out in the field later.
All bloody.
Yeah, masturbating. That's the circumcision, you know.
That's the way to do it.
Also, real weird, and it said that it was mainly only seen by his wife, but at times neighbors and other relatives did see it, that there was a second Frenchie, second Maurice. Like, they'd see him walk out of a room and into another one, but then they'd go check, and he was still sitting in the first room, and there was no one there. Or she'd see him outside and walk in the house, and he'd be sitting in the living room. Like, it would be seconds apart.
Conjoined.
So,
that's conjoined. No, that's
I think
twins.
that's, yeah. Disembodied twins?
Disembodied twins.
Interesting, that. Maurice was French, so we don't know their customs. No. I think the French can teleport.
They stink.
Boy, I'm part French. Do you know that?
Yeah, I smell you.
That's why I can teleport. So Ed and Lorraine Warren were involved, and in a, I guess, kind of a unfortunate twist, the activity got more violent when Ed and Lorraine started trying to handle it. He started trying to choke out his wife and all sorts of shit. Well, they managed to call up a local religious cat. I forget if he was a deacon, priest, brother, father, senator.
Gotcha.
He was able to do an unsanctioned exorcism.
Which is?
Where they cut off the tip. Or it's well, basically the Vatican didn't okay it, but they still went with it.
I gotcha.
Which may be why it didn't take, because it worked at first and everything was fine.
It was like
he
a
was saved.
bootleg exorcism.
Yeah. This is low grade 720p exorcism. This is not high. This is not ultra HD.
8mm fucking.
You gotta have a 4K exorcism.
Yeah.
This is
8
like
track.
the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No budget.
No.
So there were still small hauntings that occurred around the home, and a few years later, Maurice shot his wife, who lived, and then he shot himself.
He did not live.
No. Fucking offed himself. So I guess the demon made a comeback, although it had been there for years. Rocking his peer. All right. So what do you think of that? The demon, they half exorcised it, and it lay dormant for a few years. And was like, By the way, you dead.
Still here. Got he. Yeah. I don't know.
That's weird. What do you think a demon wants? Is it like your soul? Because we don't understand that. But if it made this dude kill himself, it's like, yes, victory for the demon. Now this one guy that I chose to pick on is gone.
Maybe it's just pure evil.
Yeah.
And I've... That's
Demon?
weird.
Oh, there's one.
I've met a real demon. I won't dive into the story, but it was recent. And she was a fucking demon. So...
Your sister.
No.
Oh.
She's just mean.
Shout out to
her.
your
Valerie.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Demon.
Demon.
Valerie Demon.
But no, I actually...
No, shout out to her. She's cool.
She's cool peeps. But, yeah, I met one. But I think they just want to inflict evil.
Yeah.
Pure evil.
Shoot your wife.
See how much
hoping
chaos
to kill her
they can...
and then shoot yourself.
Yeah.
Move shit out to the barn.
Ooh.
Like, what kind of... You bastard.
Right. Get all
Leave my
dusty
stuff
out there.
alone. Yeah. The horse is going to be chewing on your good Tupperware.
Your flat screen TV. Put it next to the horse.
Put it in the cow shit. I don't care.
Oh, you didn't get the... you don't have your receipt. But no, I think...
It's not covered on the warranty.
No. Horse nibbling? No.
What a shit demon.
Right.
That's just going to void your warranty
asshole.
on everything you've got.
But I think...
You left it out in the sun. That doesn't count.
What I have a hard time not believing, but understanding, maybe believing, I don't know. I believe in demons.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like possessions, how the ultra religious people, they seem to get possessed.
Right.
Like maybe the Bible thumpers.
I think we might have mentioned that in the Angels and Demons episode. That it seems to affect only the people that are really into it.
Yeah.
However, I'll tell you a little story.
Do it.
At the end of the podcast. Because that's, I'm not changing the order of my notes. But
whatever.
But keep that in mind, because a lot of these do, like when I was looking through these, it was like, he's a devout Catholic person.
Yeah.
And then possessed. So
you never hear of like a secular person get possessed or
right, someone who's just like flat out atheist. Well, they've been possessed.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't happen, and I don't think they'd be an atheist anymore after.
No, they would not.
They'd be Satanist because they felt the power. Anyway, so the Enfield poltergeist. The Conjuring 2 was actually very loosely based around this. Some believe this was all a hoax put on by the girls.
Yeah.
And
that was the English girls.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the documentary on that. I'm calling 100% bullshit on that one.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I think one of the guys who investigated it, because I don't think Ed and Lorraine Warren actually did. They just kind of set that up for the movie. That's why it was loosely based.
Yeah.
But the guy who investigated it said that some of it was horse shit, but some of it was straight up paranormal. Like they caught the girls banging on the walls to try to make it seem like, oh, there's a demon.
Well, they have that one quote unquote famous picture of
her
the
being
girl
thrown
in
across
midair.
the room. Yeah.
Well, they're saying she jumped from one bed to the other, and if you look at the photo, it kind of looks like she
it
jumped.
Looks like she's mid-jump, not being
Yeah.
picked up and thrown. Yeah.
But just when they were interviewing them girls on the documentary, like live stuff, I was thinking, I call bullshit. I call attention-seeking.
Yeah. Like I say, one of the investigators who wrote a book about it said, the girls were definitely doing some hoax-type bullshit, but there was a lot of, like, actual paranormal shit that happened.
Yeah.
And that people did witness, like, shit flying across the room, furniture moving without being touched. So it was Enfield, England, 1977. These two girls witnessed furniture moving in their home, so they called up mom, said, bitch, this is scary.
You need to get home now.
So mom called up the police, or the peaceables, constables, the bobbies.
Yeah, the bobbies.
Yeah, they got the billy clubbers in it.
Yeah, they had no guns. No guns.
Yeah.
Pussies.
Fucking twats. Well, you can't shoot a ghost without a gun.
You had a club a ghost?
Yeah, dicks. So police showed up to investigate. One of the officers, I think a couple officers, but there was a quote from one, witnessing a chair, unassisted, just slide across the kitchen floor.
Chair.
Yeah, a chair.
chair just slid across the floor.
Fucking tea, man. Anyway, we're gonna.
Crikey.
Let's not devolve.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, crikey, put another shrimp on the barbie. No. But didn't one of the girls...
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can't have your pudding. Didn't one of the girls...
Die.
No. Well, or they might be dead. I don't know.
It's 77. They were like 12 or 14, so they got to be dead by now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But didn't one of them was talking all possessed, like... Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so there was a male voice that kind of followed one of the girls around, like they'd hear whistling and so on, but then the voice would speak through the girl, which some say there's no way she could have made this voice, and they even tried shit like had her like have a mouthful of water, and then they'd still
like
hear the voice coming from her.
Did it? No, I don't think it worked though.
No, it did. That did. But then people were saying, she's just good at throwing her voice. It's a vocal trick. Anyway. Well, she's dead now, so she's old enough.
Jesus Christ.
Old enough to die, old enough. No, that's holy shit.
Oh, wow.
No, she's still alive.
Yeah.
And she actually still talks about this. She never wanted to talk about it while her mother was still alive. She didn't want her mom to relive it. Either because it was traumatic or she's a liar.
Yeah.
But
she probably got beat because she was a little fucking liar.
Her mom fucking worked her over, and she was afraid.
Like all of these camera people at our house. I just want to chill out.
Fucking cops and investigators here.
Yeah.
I can't come home from work and have a smoke because I got motherfuckers taking pictures of cold spots in the room.
Yeah.
So she fucked that
it's
girl
called
up.
lack of income. We can't afford heat.
There is a ghost there now. It's the ghost of that girl after her mom beat that ass. Anyway.
Now she can talk like that all she wants.
I'm here. Yeah,
I know
you talk like that when you get punched in the throat, bitch.
That's what happened.
Anyway, don't abuse your kids. So they believe that voice belonged to a guy who died in the home a few years before. And that would follow the girl around and kind of use her as a puppet, supposedly. So the girl would go into real violent trances and like fits where she'd freak the fuck out, like, consistent with possession type shit. One of the girls later, I think the younger one, who it mainly centered around the older sister, I think it was. Whichever one it wasn't really focused on.
It was the younger girl that was actually...
That was the victim of
the puppet, or
the center of all this.
Quote unquote, the carrier, or
the possessed,
the
possessee.
The vehicle.
Yeah. The exorciser? No. The exorcy? No, I don't think there was ever an exorcism done, but the other girl, who wasn't really... She was just witness to it all, admitted that her and the sister had some tomfuckery with a Ouija board while they were at school one day, and that's when all this shit started. And the events really calmed down after a priest visited the home and I guess did some blessings, and after that...
I tell you what, though, Ouija boards, don't fuck with them.
No, I think it's best not to.
I made the mistake of fucking with one. And I think I touched on it in the ghost episode.
Lost your hair and everything.
Yeah, I got all fat.
No. Everything that's ever happened to you can be stemmed back.
Yeah, it's not age. I was possessed. No, I used to have the Ouija board above my bedroom door. I thought it was cool. And
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't fuck around with Ouija boards.
We did talk about that. It might have been the ghost episode, but the fucking thing got its name from the creators of it asking it what it wanted to be called.
Ouija.
So, and it said Ouija, or whatever. And they were like, oh, Ouija, okay.
Ouija, they mispronounced it.
Idiots.
Ouija board.
Yeah. And that's when they released the spirits.
Yeah.
When they didn't give it the respect it demanded.
Ouija.
Ouija? And
Ouija board.
Demons come out! So anyway.
No, Ouija board. That sounds like...
Best not to dick with them.
No.
Don't fuck with it.
Don't put your dick on
No
it.
need. Yeah,
No.
Keep your dick off
away
the board.
from the Ouija board.
Yeah.
Was it French? Ouija. Speaking of French.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Ouija.
Sounds like it, though.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the demon.
Yeah.
If it was a French demon, I was like, oh, Ouija.
Or just a stupid fucking spirit.
Yeah, it's just an illiterate monster that
it was all pressured. Like,
what do you want to be? Like,
vowels and a J. Like, give me fucking vowels and a J.
E-I-O-U. Wait.
Sometimes
no, it's O-U-I.
J. Oh, wait.
Wait, Y is... No, it's J. Fuck.
Ouija.
Yeah, that's it.
Ouija.
That's me.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't put your dick on a Ouija board. Don't use it as the slider. You put your dick on there, and all your friends got to touch it, and then the demon gets it. The ghost, the spirits.
Ghosts.
Yeah, I'm trying to contact my grandmother. Let me just slap my wang on this Ouija. No.
Wow.
Grandma, where's the will?
Where's the will?
Spells out gross.
Gross.
Ew. Get your dick off. Get your dick away, son. Anyway, so we go. Anna Eklund. She's a 14-year-old girl, 1986 in, I think it was Iowa.
This one I haven't heard of.
Yeah, this one was interesting. I hadn't heard of this one either.
In the 80s?
18.
Oh, 18.
In the 90s, the 1890s. And then the 19-aughts. So,
gotcha.
14-year-old girl in 1896. She started showing signs of possession. She was spooked the fuck out by holy objects. She couldn't enter churches.
Like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
What do we?
Anything
what kind of?
Anything. There's what is that? There's some kind of phobia of that. But I'm talking about like crosses.
Holy. Okay, I
you
got you.
put a rosary near her and she freaks out.
Not because of moths or anything.
No, not 'cause
holy.
They chewed holes. Or,
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
An old pair of denim jeans.
Yeah. Could be a phobia.
Yeah. Hey. Start scraping your knees on the grass. Can't play tag in those.
Nope.
So. She couldn't enter churches, and she did some nasty sex things. And I wish I was making that up, but it said that the only information, because that was mentioned in every article that I found about it, it was just unspeakable sex acts.
Wow.
Which, it was 1896, so I think it,
missionary. Unspeakable.
I think if a 14-year-old girl scratched her ass in public, they'd be like, "You indecent whore!
She's a witch! She's a witch! Burn her!"
So unspeakable sex acts might be foreplay in today's terms, but either way, she's 14 and possessed, so she shouldn't be doing that. So some believed that her aunt was a witch and had casted spells on her. Actually, put some spells on some herbs, some of the ganj, and then used those herbs to prepare food for her.
Brownies.
Because her aunt, I guess on her mom's side, was in love with her father, and she was mad that her sister married the dude.
Holy shit.
So she decided she was going to curse her niece to get back at her sister for marrying the guy that she loved.
Third cousin twice removed. Holy fuck. The whole family.
Fucking weird web. Yeah. She could have just gone and found her own man, but she was like, "Bitch, I got the curse for your ass." Put the mojo on her.
Be scared of holy stuff.
You're seeing some Swiss. You're going to... Couldn't send her to school.
She can't go to Subway.
Hey, can you hold this hole punch? No.
Nice.
Stupid bitch.
Yeah.
So, 1912, she was exercised successfully. She started putting up about 245 on the bench press, which is good for.
Yeah.
I think she was. I don't know.
Considering you got to put the weights through the hole.
Right.
So I mean, she.
So she conquered her fears and she started the exercising.
Bless her.
But there was also an
Bless her.
exorcism that was successful.
At the gym.
Yeah.
By Jim.
Yeah.
Father Jim.
The Father Jim showed
At the
up.
gym.
And he's
Exercise
like, "Come on,
her.
give me one more rep." And the demons couldn't hold on anymore. She was too strong. So,
Wow.
it was successful, but the symptoms returned. I guess years later, and then in 1928,
Crabs.
Yeah,
From
crabs.
fucking around.
Yeah.
So.
Well, unspeakable.
Yeah.
There ain't no antibiotics yet.
Nope.
You can't be. Anyway, did they have condoms back then, or was it just a?
Probably sheepskin.
It was just a risk.
I heard they had
whenever
sheepskin.
But it was probably like actually a piece of sheepskin. It wasn't like made into a condom.
That
It was
shit
just like
wrapped
you
it
just
around.
had like a
With the-
cloth
with
of
the fur.
sheepskin that you just put on there and tied a little string to keep it on. Oh. Boy, we've come a long way.
Yeah. Technology. Shout out to Trojan.
Hey, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for building a better condom. Keeping us safe, making us feel good. You know what I'm talking about.
Save the goats as well and the sheep.
Yeah, the sheep, the goots, the goats,
They got
the
spared.
ghosts.
They got
They're-
spared.
Yeah, no sweat. Yeah, it's a new age. It's not 1928 anymore.
Nope.
The symptoms don't return.
Oh yeah.
But in 1928, the symptoms returned, and another exorcism was performed. Get this shit. You know, you see like in a movie, it's like one evening, like the power of Christ, and there's holy water and lightning and vomit, and then the demon's gone.
The Exorcist.
This took place from August of that year to December.
Holy shit.
This was months that like every couple days they'd do like another session, and then she'd fucking get worse or better. And
I would say a 40 cal and call it dead, you know?
I think by September I would have been like,
just put her
it's
down.
not going away.
Put her down.
The demons, they got her.
Bury her
The
behind
spirits
a barn.
got her, Chief. She's got to go.
Just make another one. It's fine.
Yeah, have another kid.
Yeah.
Sheepskin condoms or not.
Yeah.
They probably tear. Anyway,
Probably did.
watch for symptoms. So
Pretty bad.
that's good. Anyway, she was violent. She went into
Sheep was
these
violent.
furious fits. Yeah, the sheep was mad. He's giving my skin back. Don't. What are you doing with that?
Don't stick that there. It's gross.
She'd get all crazy whenever they sprinkled holy water on her. She'd levitate. She'd howl, hiss, vomit. She'd speak all kinds of different languages.
Yeah.
And then the exorcism was again successful. And I guess there was nothing else that ever happened with her, or she died from the exorcism. And they called it, like, that's another one for the church.
Win.
Good guys win again.
Now, some of the possessions that I've seen, like the exorcism, where they actually speak Latin and it's proven Latin and just not rambling.
Like that Frenchie.
Some of it's pretty
Maurice
convincing.
was speaking Latin
Some
backwards.
of it's pretty convincing.
And he had like a third grade education.
Yeah. Some of it makes you go,
Yeah. Yeah, this...
Now, if you're just speaking in tongues, like, I'm just making up shit.
Right, I could
Get
do
the
that.
fuck
I
out
don't
of
give a
here.
damn. I've heard people
But when
do
they
that.
prove that it's Latin backwards...
Right, when they play it back and he's like saying some Latin incantation to
It's hard enough
summon
probably to
demons.
learn Latin forwards, like regular.
Yeah.
To learn it backwards.
I can't speak English backwards, and that's the only language I've ever
I
spoken.
can barely speak it forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have trouble sometimes.
I get confused pair, there.
Yeah.
Fucking
2, 2, and 2. There's 3 twos.
Yeah.
How,
Fuck
what
the English
sense
language.
does that make?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
So what
Latin
we're saying
backwards.
is, if you got... the demons are educated.
They are.
They're
crafty.
They're tricksters, you know? They
Latin
speak
backwards.
this backwards.
Damn.
Well, I don't know Latin. Don't worry. I got you, fam. Yeah, she spoke multiple languages in this one. I forgot to mention with Maurice, with old Maurice Frenchie McShotgun.
From the barn.
Killed his wife.
Yeah.
Tried to kill his wife.
Tried.
There is some footage of that. And
the
it's,
actual shooting?
no.
Oh.
Yeah, there's body cam. No, this was the 80s. There's no...
GoPro? There's no GoPro.
He didn't put a GoPro on the end of his shotgun. He used it as the sights.
Although that footage would be worth,
Boy,
oh yeah,
hundreds of dollars.
hundreds
Hundreds today.
for the first time. I mean, you can find it on the internet.
Yeah. But of the exorcism
I got you.
that Ed and Lorraine performed, which held the demon off for a little while, there is
wait.
genuine footage.
Not of the Frenchie.
Yes.
That was in the 1800s.
No, 1980s.
Okay.
Yeah. This one was 1800s. Anna.
Like,
There's no footage
Ed
of
and
Anna's.
Lorraine fucking time travelers now? What the fuck?
Dude, they're good at what they do.
That's true.
They go where they're needed.
is
You got demons, we got answers.
DeLorean. 88
I don't
miles
care
per
where
hour.
it is or what's going on.
Right.
So that was the story of Anna. That's the most documented possession ever because it took place.
They have footage of that. The actual...
No.
No.
But she was profiled in, I think it was Time magazine in 1930. She got a nice profile in there. So they were like, wow, look at the demon girl.
Next to Kaepernick.
Look at that. She was double
known for
exercised.
the anthem?
Yeah, she was Time's Demon of the Year.
Oh, shit.
1930 Demon of the Year. She was all over the headlines.
Wow.
God, we're fucking
Stupid.
excellent.
Excellent.
Do
Whatever.
we have time for one more? I don't care.
Dude, it's only 34 minutes. It's not like we have listeners anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah, we're doing this for you and me.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Rhode Island, 1970s. Does that sound familiar? The Conjuring.
Yep.
One,
One.
based around these events. Also, footage of this of some of the hauntings, and that shit's unsettling. I'll explain why.
Wait. They have actual footage?
Yeah, there's some footage. Ed and Lorraine do the kind of EVP thing. Of course, this is the 70s, so it's like, an old... I think they did some in the movie. you know, they tape record and then they play it back later, and you can hear the "Get out, bitch," or whatever.
Get out. That's scary, huh?
Smoke rocks, gangbang.
12. 12.
Whatever that ghost was on about. Whatever the witch was doing. So this family moved the
Smoke rock.
the Perrin or Perrin family. There's 2 R's, so it's the double R.
French.
It rolls. Perrin. It's the cheese family.
Swiss.
They moved into the home 1970.
Mm-hmm.
The home had been there since the 1700s.
Ooh.
Old time bitch. That old time rock and roll.
Oh, yeah. Probably had a hell of a time getting a loan for that house.
Dude, you know how much
No one would.
Well, this was before, because now what is it? 1978 or before?
Unless
they
it's
won't.
a trailer house.
Yeah, they won't give you a loan because it's all asbestos.
Yeah.
So imagine 1700.
1700.
It's lead and asbestos,
Yeah.
demons, ghosts.
Sheepskin.
That's why they won't insure it. There's too high a probability for ghost. If it was in the 2000s, there's less witchcraft and tomfoolery.
Mm-hmm.
Probably won't have a ghost. You'll be okay. But
No
1700s,
sheepskin roofs or anything.
yeah, they can't guarantee.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
the home's first resident back in the 1700s was some bitch who was believed
This bitch.
to be a witch and sacrificed her children to the devil.
Wow.
It wasn't uncommon for infants to die back then,
No.
but when all 3 of hers died, like back to back to
They're
back,
like,
yeah, the townsfolk were like, she's strange.
Something's not right about that.
How peculiar. She possibly sacrificed her babies to the devil, and her ghost tormented the fuck out of Miss Perrin, or Carolyn,
Parent.
which you see in the movie.
Which
The
The
ghost is
Conjuring.
coming after her. Yeah, in The Conjuring.
I can't remember that movie.
Boy, you're a bag of shit.
No, I thought The Conjuring was the little kid that wouldn't wake up.
No, that's Insidious.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't think of The Conjuring.
Conjuring is Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Okay.
The one about that guy plays Ed.
Yes. And that they see the bodies hanging in the trees.
Annabelle.
Yeah.
Annabelle was at the start of the movie.
Yeah.
That was the intro, and then they talked about old Frenchie
I remember
haunting.
now. Yeah.
The haunting of Captain Frenchie. Maurice Frenchie. Frenchie. Smelly ass.
Bloody eyes.
Latin speaking.
Yeah. Backwards.
Motherfucker. So,
Smoke rocks.
this ghost or spirit or whatever demon she summoned tormented Carolyn, the matriarch.
Not to be confused with the little girl from Poltergeist.
Right, who was
Caroline.
Samantha.
Caroline.
Yeah.
Or Samantha.
Tell her you're very cross with her and she's gonna get a spanking.
Is that good? Is
That's
that a
pretty good.
impression?
For
All
that
right.
little short lady?
Yeah, I
Yeah, she was
smoke.
creepy.
Anyway, I don't smoke.
She was creepy.
That bitch is fucked.
Going to the light, Caroline.
Like that.
You know that's her real voice?
It is.
That unfortunate bitch. She
Yeah. I
like
believe
on
she
the
was
red
also
carpet. You see.
An Oompa Loompa. I think so. No.
I'd believe that.
Maybe.
She was the template for the Oompa Loompa. They saw her and they were
They're
like,
like-
"We're fucking doing that."
You're like
Okay.
chocolate.
She's like, yes. Light chocolate, Caroline. Yes.
Oh, never mind. Do you have the time? It's
3 o'clock.
Oh, forget it.
3 o'clock.
Need a GPS with her voice. That'd be fucking awesome, right?
Turn left. Turn left. Turn left. Go straight into the light.
That'd be fucking awesome. I always wanted like a GPS in like a meatwad voice.
Proceed to highlighted route or you'll get a spanking.
And then it starts playing that creepy poltergeist music, the piano and the.
Caroline.
Oh,
Holy shit, that'd be a scary trip. Could you imagine driving at like 3 o'clock
you
in the
gotta
morning?
drive cross country and that.
You're in the country, right? You're going for like miles and miles.
Fucking no lights, no nothing.
And then all of a sudden you have to turn, and that would be scary shit.
fuck, dude.
It starts playing that music for holy
Someday we'll have it. There's got to be apps that.
shit. We need to work on that. That'd be
Boy,
fucking.
let's see if we can get in touch with her. Even now that we've disparaged her
might
stature
be-
and voice, I think she'd be down. She probably needs a payday.
Yeah.
No, we don't have money, but
No.
royalties.
Get her payday.
Royalties
Candy.
after.
Yeah, she likes
After
chocolate.
the ab sales. Yeah, she loves chocolate.
Fuck yeah. Get her some little shoes.
I bet she wears baby size.
She
We can
wears
get her
baby
some baby
shoes?
shoes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just rob them from somebody's car, a rearview mirror. A Roswell
Baby
or
shoes
something?
never worn.
Albuquerque? Get some baby shoes from the rear view.
So
Wow. Talking
We
about
got
derailed.
out
Holy
there.
shit.
pretty good though. I liked it.
Yeah.
So this ghost tormented Caroline.
Caroline. Sweet
Right.
Caroline.
Yes.
Dun,
Uh,
dun, dun.
Not my grandmother.
No. She was sweet.
She was. She was a nice lady.
Is she or was she?
Was.
Was. Past tense.
She passed last year.
Okay.
Lived a good life.
Okay.
And
Old.
she wore a bathrobe most of the time. So
Nice.
she was living it up.
Yeah. Shout out.
Late 80s.
Wow.
So she got up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't get cut short. So God bless. That's that Los Angeles freeway air, man. They live right next to the freeway, and that smog kept her young.
Kept her young.
Diesel trucks drive. Anyway, so the Warrens determined, Ed and Lorraine, you know, our old friends. Shout out to Lorraine. Thanks for the cookies.
Shout out.
We're still going to come visit your museum.
I don't want to so bad.
Got to. That should be
I wanna
so,
see Annabelle.
so ill.
I want to provoke the doll.
We talked about that
I lived a good
the
life.
last time. And I think I said, don't fuck with a doll.
That's what the sign
Because
said.
there's
That's
some
right.
shit. We talked about that
Yeah,
in
yeah.
depth. That
The
people
sign,
like,
don't fuck
this.
with the doll.
People are like, this thing's dumb. And then they fucking crash their car and die on the way home. Well,
Just don't fuck with the doll.
I guess you got, stupid. It's said right there, don't fuck with the doll. Oh, man. I can't even tell the story. We've all seen The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't work out that way. So Ed and Lorraine showed up, and they determined that this ghost lady witch demon had possessed Caroline. It wasn't just tormenting. She'd wake up with, like, bruises and scratch marks and all that. They figured out, it's not just, like, beating her up in her sleep like a bad husband. It's straight took her.
Yeah.
It got her innocence, you know.
Yeah.
It's in her body, and not. Never mind. Not that way.
No.
So, the ghost became furious when Ed and Lorraine showed up, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And you may recall in the movie, Ed does an exorcism, even though he's not supposed to, but he does it.
He's
and
not
it
ordained.
Works. Yeah, I'm ordained.
You are? I've seen your robe.
Certainly.
I've seen it.
Yes. Kids. So the so it doesn't work out that way in real life. It just keeps getting worse and worse, and there's the triumphant happy ending for the movie. No, Ed and Lorraine, the family says, you know what? I think it's just getting angrier.
Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, but you guys gotta go because it hates you. This demon
Take
hates
your sandwiches
your
and
ass.
just go.
Take your sandwich platter and your recording equipment, and you can leave the cold cuts. But it's
I could see that because have you seen
After
interviews
they
with
left,
them, Ed and Lorraine?
Ed and Lorraine. Yes, I'd be upset.
They're kind of
Yes,
annoying. They're
please,
like, get the fuck
out of my house right
It's
now.
like in-laws where you're like, get the fuck out.
Like, it's cool that you guys were here for like Christmas morning, but now it's the 28th and you're still hanging out at my
Fucking
house.
cousin Eddie. They show up with the
Yeah.
RV.
Sure as a butte, Clark, man. Fuck you. Get out of my
Get outta
house.
Ed.
Ed.
Cousin Ed E.
Fucking Ed. Anyway, shout out to Ed.
Ed.
The afterlife.
Yeah.
The afterlife? Anyway, so the Warrens, they leave, and once they leave, the demon leaves Carolyn's body. So all this thing needed was to possess her, and then for them to show up, have it get worse, and go, all right, we're going to go. And the demon was like, all right, I got what I wanted.
Yeah, I'm out too.
So that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
There's still, interaction. Oh,
Thanks.
Interactions with the spirits there to this day that the people who live there experience.
Is the house still erect? Like, is it still standing?
Boy, I'll tell you something about erect.
Sheepskin.
But yes, I believe it is still there to this day. But every resident who's lived thereafter has reported activity, but not to this level.
And they do have coverage of the actual like.
So there's footage. I don't think they've got like the actual.
If we go on YouTube,
but yeah,
we
if
can
you
see,
go on
like,
YouTube,
we'll have to do that.
you can find that footage. That shit's. You haven't seen that?
No.
That shit's sick. I'll pull it up here in a
Nice.
little bit. We'll get young Jamie on it. Shout out to young Jamie from the Joe Rogan Experience doing
There you
our
go.
tech tonight.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.
I wish that guy's good.
Yeah.
But he's a demon. No, so the demon left her body, and they were able to move out of the house a couple years later. They had some financial constraints, which I think the dad mentions in the movie. He's like, oh, all our money's tied up in this. So they couldn't just move out, which is what someone initially suggested, like, well, just leave. Well, after they moved out,
I would suggest
I
like
guess the ghost stayed, but it's all been pretty minor stuff.
insurance fraud.
Yeah,
They
burn
could
it
have
down.
done that. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Well, then you'd really upset
Yeah.
burn down a witch's house. You burn a witch at the stake, but not her home. You know what I'm...
Fool me once.
Yeah. Boy, I'll possess you once. I'll let you go. But once I got you the second time, you're mine. Don't make me possess you again.
Don't make me start using Latin backwards.
But like I say, if you want to check out that footage, it is on YouTube. I think if you look up like Conjuring Real Haunting or something on YouTube, there's some of the audio, and it's fucking chilling.
Yeah.
Because this is like shitty old footage from the 70s, but there's audio, and then there's also some footage of like one of the girls, the daughters, was sitting in a chair like trying to do her homework, and the chair just kept sliding back. And they'd push it in, and it'd slide back.
I saw that part.
And they pushed in, and it slides back. Something's going on with it. Something's moving the chair. It doesn't want her to get straight A's.
Yeah.
So it's hitting her where it counts. She's not going to get into college because of this demon.
Community college. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah.
No, I saw that footage.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's the audio, which I think that's when they figure out that this thing, for whatever reason, doesn't like the mother, doesn't like Carolyn, not Carol Ann. It doesn't like her. They ask it something about, like, I think they have it knock. It's not even like EVP. They ask it to knock, like, okay, knock once for yes, twice for no. If you don't want the, whatever daughter to live here,
Yeah.
and
Knock Dr. Dre if you want us to leave.
Yeah.
Like,
but when it gets to the mom, knock once if you want her to leave, and it's like
pounding. Yeah.
just one.
Pretty much
like,
get the
oh,
fuck
shit.
out.
Yeah, everyone else was like, I don't give a damn.
They
I
start-
don't care if they stay. But it was like, well, what
They
about
start
her?
throwing their suitcases to her like, bye, bitch.
Pack your shit. But anyhow, we got to get out of here. That's it for possessions. There's plenty more. Those were just some fun ones. So, as always, do your own research.
Emily
do your
Rose,
own podcast.
not real.
You'll see that you can't do it as well as us.
No, you
So
cannot.
subscribe.
You can try,
Yeah, I encourage
Try.
you to try and fail.
so we can laugh at you.
Bitch. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, which you're listening to this on.
Yeah.
Like
Or
our page
Facebook.
on Facebook.
Facebook.
Send me a friend request. And Waylon.
Join the fan club.
Please start the fan club.
Ooh.
Yeah, you could be the first.
Like make stickers,
Be all right.
cozies,
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
magnets,
Anyhow, you can go to
fly
the
swatters.
Suicide Forest.
we need fucking Indigo Unknown
You're
fly
thinking about
swatters.
possessions again. The wrong type of possession. Things you can physically own. That's not what we're talking about.
That's all we
Stupid.
have. That's
you
all we
didn't
have.
learn anything.
What you get with the fan club is a Indigo Unknown fly swatter.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right, that's false advertisement. We're not doing that.
No.
Anyhow, thank you for tuning in. Waylon, sign us off. All right, thank you for tuning in. And
We'll see you next week. Well, we won't see you.
we'll
You won't. We
let
won't
you
hear
hear us
Yeah,
next
you
week.
can hear it. If you, all three of our viewers.
Hopefully, unless there's another holiday or we get drunk again, we'll
Drunk as so. No,
end up
that's not.
skipping one. But no, that's a never again thing.
Well, never say never.
Never. We're gonna have to do the mom cast soon. Get our
Yeah.
moms in here to talk about silly shit. We'll get some red wine.
Get them
We'll
nice.
have a
and
time. Get them toasted.
nice. Yes. I'm game. I'm game.
Anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and good night.
2018. 2018.
Prosperous.
Plenty.
Should we, numerology 28. That's what? It's 11. So
11's a good year.
That's a master number.
Master number.
All right.
Bait.
Happy master number. Nation. All right. Good night.